I was already way past my limit. And we're sitting in the cart and she's like, how about you just shotgun this? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And she's like, you pop the hole in it, you like crack it open, you knock it back. And I was like, I could do this. Like, I'm like, she's hyping me up. Just keep going. And I'm like, I could do this. I could do this.
Well, hello and welcome back to your virtual tea time. My name is Tori and I'm your host. And today we're joined with Nicole and Amber from My Fairway Ladies, self-proclaimed country golf girls, not country club girls. Now, if My Fairway Ladies doesn't ring a bell right away, let me remind you. They are two golf besties, golf partners that stick a GoPro up on their golf cart and just film their entire golf rounds throughout the summer. And they take clips from those rounds and post them on their social media. And they're absolutely hilarious. Dad jokes or not. I think what's infectious about it all is how amazing their friendship is and how you know that having a golf bestie and riding in a cart with your golf bestie is like the best. I mean, hilarious. I know what you're thinking right now. I know if I stuck a GoPro in my cart as I'm playing around with my best golf buddy, how hilarious some of the footage you could get. Am I right? Well, they actually do it. And their clips have gone viral hundreds of times. They have over 600,000 followers. They're absolutely hilarious, and I'm honored to have them on the show. We couldn't do them justice without inserting some of their Instagram clips on the show. So you'll see as we transition in and out from some of their funniest Instagram clips. Again, you need to follow them if you don't already. I'm positive you've seen them on your feed before, but in the meantime, let's get into it. We got Nicole and Amber here from My Fairway Ladies.
Next up on the number one tee.
What do you want to school for?
Psychology.
Perfect. I have a good psychologist joke. Okay. Guy walks into a psychologist's office wearing nothing but saran wrap.
Okay.
Psychologist says, I can clearly see your nuts.
That was a good one. You made that up?
No!
All right, we are here with My Fairway Ladies, Nicole and Amber. Hi, thank you so much for being on.
Hi.
How?
Thanks for having us.
Do you know probably every one of my team members that have ever been employed by me have like, can you have Nicole and Amber on, please? Can you have Nicole and Amber on? So it's way overdue. Thank you for being on Tea Time. You guys are absolutely hilarious. I want to play golf with you, but I want to be like in the golf cart with you, conversing with the GoPro. Like I want the full experience.
The Fairway Lady experience. We feel like we can set that up.
Okay, I'm going to just dive right in because your content, like I said, is so funny, so real, just so raw. It's just, I love it. I love it. But your name is My Fairway Ladies, which sounds very proper. Very ladylike. How did that name come up? Or did that name come up before the content really started to flow? Tell me about it.
It was actually on my personal Instagram for a little bit. And then we were between Cartners and crime, which
Love that.
is fitting, very fitting for us. And then we were at League one night and I was like, how about like My Fairway Ladies? And Amber's like, yes, that sounds so cute. And I'm like, okay.
And was that really 2 years ago or was that longer at this point?
So we were golf partners for an entire season first. So we spent a whole summer golfing together and we kind of had like a little conversation where we were like, you know, it'd be so funny. Like we could definitely make TikToks. Like girls out there make golf TikToks, but we could make hysterical golf TikToks. So that following year in March, I think it was, we said we were going to go to North Carolina. So we went on a girls golf trip, stuck a GoPro in the cart, and the rest is kind of history.
We just press play and kind of see what happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. believe it. I mean, I think if I were to stick a GoPro in my sister and I's golf cart, I mean, the gems that would turn up, that would get caught on tape. That's plentiful. So tell me about when you started golfing.
I started golfing just recently. I think 3 years into it. Every single one of my best friends kept moving away. And I'm like, okay, well, my friend pile is like dwindling down. So I wanted to get into something where I can challenge myself and do it on my own if I wanted to. I didn't have to have like a group of girls or whatever. I could just go on my own. So I actually started at a local club in our town where I met Amber's cousin, and that's how her and I got connected.
And Amber, how about you? When did you start golfing?
I started probably when I was about 9 or 10. My whole family has always golfed. My grandmother used to be like the club champion at the club we golf at, actually. And my grandfather lives right next door. So I grew up golfing. In high school, I played field hockey for a year, and I decided that that was way too much running. So I started playing golf. Nicole, don't laugh at me.
I just know it's so true.
I was about to say, like, I agree with you. That is way with a stick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played golf in high school, and I played out of high school on and off a little bit. I would sub in the women's league, but not until golfing with Nicole did I start golfing full time again.
And you guys met through golf, or it was just like coincidence that your friends started moving away, Nicole, and you guys just kind of ran into each other and started golfing?
So I started at another local club, and I was golfing by myself one day, and this blonde girl comes up to me and she's like, hey, like, why don't you come to Cricket Hill? You can join the ladies league and go from there. So all I know is this girl, and she's like, I'll be there. So I show up, she's nowhere to be found. And I'm like panic texting her because there's a room full of ladies. And I'm like, I don't know anybody. And she's like, oh, I was washing my Jeep. Sorry. And I was like, okay. And then across the room, it was like a moment. Across the room, I see this girl with like long, beautiful hair. And I was like, oh my God, her hair is so pretty. And then she came up to me and she's like, hey, like, I heard that you need a golf partner. And I was like, I do need a golf partner. And then that was it. She just adopted me on.
I love that. So when you guys are filming, when you actually put the GoPro on, are you playing by yourself, or are you doing this during Ladies' Day, or are you paired with two strangers? Like, what's going on in that foursome?
A little bit of both. Sometimes we're playing the ladies in our league, so we know them. And then other times it's just me and Nicole going out, hitting a golf ball around. Sometimes we keep score. Some days we don't, which it's way more fun when we don't, obviously.
Now, what's your level of competition? Like, just in everyday, even if you're not filming, like, do you guys compete at all in the ladies league, or maybe like in some inter club leagues, or within the league, do you play like club championship?
We haven't done championships, but we have, like, with our league, we've played, we get second place
and third this year. Yeah.
And like a member situation, was it?
No, that's just like our league from April to September. It's nice because when we golf, we're not competitive with each other with it, and we're not really competitive like with other people. It depends. Amber's a little bit more competitive than me. She's like, we gotta smoke these girls. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's half of the fun of it.
I know.
Nancy is going down today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
She's still counting.
7! I'm putting for 7! Triple bogey! I'm gonna triple bogey. I don't even know math at this point. Call me Nicole.
Cheap shot. Also fair, though. It's fair.
Nothing.
Okay.
I will be the victim forever in this partnership. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. I am victim.
Okay. What do you do?
I am victim to the game of golf and this hair.
Be a Charlie Hall and make it a 10.
That would have been way better.
Be a Charlie Hall and make it a 10.
My wedgie.
Obviously, this is all snowballed. I mean, you have 600,000 followers, and I loved the post with the draw on 6. Did the 6 float away?
Yes.
It was a
It was
5.
actually- I left my car door open and I pulled out the 2 zeros and the K. And then I turn around and it's going. And Amber, she hustled to try to get it.
She hustled.
Tried.
Yeah, the
And
feeling
it
that
was
Used it for
blind.
5.
produced at that moment. Oh my gosh. No, that's so funny.
We got to use it for 5,000. We got to use it 500,000, 600,000. Now we're going to use it for 700,000, and it'll just keep growing.
Yeah.
So perfect scenario.
Yes, I agree. So what now then? Like, I mean, do you have brands reaching out to you to like influence, and what's next? Or are you guys just going to keep doing it for fun and that's all it is? And like, what are your goals on the content side of it?
So on the content side, we really started it to get more women involved because it's such a heavily male saturated field. The scales are so obvious when you're out there. It's like, maybe if we do this, people can take their best friends, get a group of girls, have a fun time, see the relatable side that's not just country club serious. Like we play every Thursday and it's $18. We're not spending hundreds of dollars to get out there and golf. So we have worked with some brands promoting their apparel. They're either branding towards women's wear or they already have a line where there is a ton of options for women's wear. We recently did Waggle Golf and that was awesome. It really expanded their line over the course of 3-4 months. So as far as anything, we're kind of just having fun with it. It's our past hobby time and time that we get to spend together. So.
No, and I have to say, watching you two does make you want to grab your best girlfriend and get in a golf cart and just have a good time playing golf. Because there's something special about just having your golf bestie, as they might say, with you in the cart. You're shooting shit. You're laughing at your partners you're playing with. You're talking about what happened during your shots. It's really a special time. It's a fun time. So that energy definitely comes across the screen when you're watching your Instagram. So I think you're doing an awesome job.
Oh, there's a ball. I'm taking it. What is that? Titleist. Is that hers? You're over. Right here?
Was that a title?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't move it.
Okay, so you pay attention. Now they hate us. Okay. I thought they were taking them.
I don't know. Don't get my way.
Partners for life.
Cartners for life. And Amber just walked across the conference room floor to meet you at Ladies League.
Long blonde hair. Yeah, her hair is like down to her butt. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that girl.
So
Yeah.
let's go back to the beginning again. What are some things you wish you knew when you first started golfing? And Amber, when I'm asking you also, think about when you first started golfing more as an adult rather than when you were golfing more as a kid. When you joined Ladies League for the first time, and Nicole, you can start from 3 years ago, but what do you wish you knew? You know, if there's someone that's listening that's more of a newcomer, what would you want to know back then when you started?
When I had started, and Amber can vouch for this, I had the worst anxiety when I was playing for my very first season. And Amber has the patience of a saint because I would hit my ball and I'd be like, oh my God, like, am I doing that right? Did I say something? I'm not supposed to say this. Like, where am I supposed to stand? Am I supposed to walk over here? I was so in my head that very first season where I was surprised she picked me up again for the second season. I was like, oh my goodness. So I think I, in my mind, had taken what you frequently see on social media, which is like more of the proper serious golfers, female and male. And I had built that up in my head that every single person is like that when it really isn't the case. Like on Thursday nights, it's our 2, 3, 4 hours to blow off steam and have fun. So I think for anybody that's starting, to just not take yourself so seriously, lower your expectations and literally just have fun. That's all I wish I would have done my very first season.
It's an intimidating sport. there's so much to it. And little do we know that probably 95% of what it's all about, like we don't even deal with on a round to round basis. It's not complicated when you're just playing casual golf. It's not actually not a big deal at all. Amber, do you think of something?
I guess it's not so much as like when I was younger, but like in high school, everyone's like, oh, like you play golf. Like that's probably the most uncool sport I've ever heard of. I guess I wish I realized back then, like, it's not that uncool. It's actually pretty fun. Like looking back, like everyone that I've golfed with, I'm like, who would have guessed that I would end up where I'm at because of golf? I was obviously never the greatest golfer, but it landed me where I am because of how long I stuck with it.
And since you've been playing for longer, do you have like the competitive bug in you to where maybe you venture out of the ladies league, and maybe play a competition that's a little bigger, or, you're content with ladies league? It's the level you want to kind of chill at, or what do you think?
I feel like that's the level I want to chill at.
Yeah.
I mean, I am competitive, but I feel like ladies league can get competitive enough that I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you have so many other hobbies. Oh my gosh. Your Instagram page, Amber, is filled. I mean, I'm like, well, where's the golf stuff? I'm scrolling.
Absolutely. I've got a lot going on. So squeezing in golf when I can fit it in as more of something like relaxing to do rather than stressful and competitive is probably the level I would rather keep it at, is something fun to do instead of stressing me out, which golf can absolutely do. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, Nicole, one of the things I saw is that you're an Arizona Cardinal fan. Now, listen, I live in Phoenix and I don't see a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans. So coming from Northeast Pennsylvania, I'm like, okay, maybe an Eagles fan, maybe even New York Giants fan. I mean, you're close. You can even go Steelers, but you are an Arizona Cardinal fan. How in the world did that start? How does that happen?
So growing up, my dad was like a hardcore Steelers fan, and my brother was a huge Larry Fitzgerald fan. I was the youngest, so I didn't want to be like uncool and just like the Steelers because my dad did. So I was like, oh, I'll be a little bit cooler and like the Cardinals because my brother did. So I was like, I'll just stick with the Cardinals. I love their colors. I was a huge Larry Fitzgerald fan. He's a golfer. He does a ton of stuff in the community for youth programs and stuff, which I just love. So
now that you brought up Larry Fitzgerald, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, he is an icon. He was great. Yeah. He's missed too. I mean, he was fun to watch every game and he definitely brought life to the team. So, okay, now I get it. So how about with you, Nicole? Do you think that there's a competitive side in you that will come out, that you'll want to take your game to the next level?
Yes and no. I do like challenging myself, pushing myself to whatever interests me. We are building a simulator in our garage this winter, which I just need to practice. I just don't have time to like always go to the range and stuff. So that's going to be our winter project. I'm hoping I can hone in a little bit more on my skills and then possibly join maybe like local competition. I don't know. I really don't have like a cap on it, but I'm starting grad school in 2 weeks, so I can't get into anything super crazy right now. So.
Yeah, no, that will take up plenty of time. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nicole, I have a question. Do our followers know that you graduated college the other day?
I'm a college graduate, you guys. I have my bachelor's in psychology, which is pretty cool because I really like helping people. And I feel like I'll be good at it.
Congratulations. Chug. Thank you. It burns my eyes. Now I know what you felt with the White Claw. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Flush my eye. Flush my
There's something wrong with you. Like, there's something actually wrong with you on a different level. Look at there's,
There's people like literally watching.
So, question about one video that is one of my favorites, the one where you're shotgunning a beer and it comes out the other end. Could that possibly have been on purpose? Or I don't even think it could have been that good if it wasn't if it was supposed to be like the joke and you had that planned. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I'm going to show it right now. This podcast episode's being filmed also. So I'm going to show that video right now. Okay, so tell me about that.
I have never been a big drinker. I don't drink claws or anything like that. That video was the very, very, very end of the night where I had already had 2 bevies. And that for me were just downhill. So Amber's like,
Nicole is good at like 1 bevy. 1 is Nicole's stops.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
it's literally, there's videos where she'll be like, I'll hold up 2 and she's like, I'm nervous. And I'm like, I'm nervous too. And she's like, okay. So I was already way past my limit. And we're sitting in the car and she's like, how about you just shotgun this? And I'm like, I don't really know how to do that. And she's like, you pop the hole in it, you like crack it open, you knock it back. And I was like, I could do this. Like, I'm like, she's hyping me up. Just keep going. And I'm like, I could do this. I could do this. And I had just had sinus surgery too. So my nose was so congested. And I was like, she's talking about breathing or whatever. And I'm focusing on breathing because my mouth's on a can. And I just can't. I get overstimulated. It's a whole thing.
I can just think of that video and start cracking up. I mean, what a gem. And obviously you got the views that every millions and millions of people thoroughly enjoyed it too. I mean, it was great. Like, I'm thinking like the ladies in my league or in your league. I mean, it's pretty standard. Are they following your content? Do they find it funny or, what do they think of it?
I think a lot of them do follow us and they definitely get a kick out of it because they definitely like walk past the cart and they try to like jump in the GoPro video and get in the back and make little jokes. So they definitely get a kick out of it.
Because I imagine you guys just press play on the GoPro and it's on throughout the whole round.
Yeah.
So do you have any kind of boundaries or do you really try and keep it just you two and like both you guys in the content? You don't try and let other people get in, or is it really just whatever feels good, we're going to post it?
We never really golf without each other. There was one time I think we had to like swap Cartners or something, and I had like a mental breakdown because like that's my partner, like I can't switch. We don't like purposely leave people out, but again, it's after work and we get there all at different times. We also had like strict stuff with what we wanted. We try to keep it as PG as possible, so like we don't curse in any of our stuff, and we just don't want to hold other people to those standards that we wanted to hold for ourselves. We didn't want to like tell our friends like don't be that, because that's who we are,
Yeah.
So it kind of just worked out that way, but there's plenty of our own shenanigans that I think.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, so what do you guys do in the winter? Then do you just stock up content and then post throughout the winter, all your stuff from the summer, or do you try and travel, get out of the snow, or what's your plan usually?
Typically we golf so much during our 5-6 months that we just keep posting because we try to get at least 4 or 5 videos out every week. It carries us through the winter, which is crazy, but we go to like indoor golfing, and then we did go to Florida last November. That was colder than we anticipated.
It was chilly. Chilly and windy. So windy.
Did you go in like December or January?
I think it was October. Wasn't it? Beginning of October, I think.
Wow. Yeah, we went. I have to be in Florida every time, like over the holidays, and it's always cold. And when you're in Florida and it's cold, there's nothing to do.
Yeah,
so that was
we were like, we're gonna hang out on the beach a little bit, and it was so miserable. There was no.
Why are you laughing? Tell me.
We had to go when we pack. It's horrible. Like when we packed the trip, we went to Talamore. We shoved my car full of stuff. We could not have brought another pair of shoes and my car would have busted at the seams. Florida, I think I took 3 shorts, 2 bathing suits, and tank tops in November. We had to go to Walmart and buy hoodies and stuff.
Clothes to wear.
It's so cold. Oh my God, that's the worst.
We were wearing golf clothes out to dinner because we didn't even pack like going out clothes. Very underpacked.
We don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
When you pack terribly, I've done it plenty of times. I can think of the last time was actually in last October. We went to Dallas. We had an event in Dallas, and it was like this huge cold wave came through just during our 3 days that we were there. And I was ordering stuff to the hotel room because I was freezing. Because yes, I had skirts and tank tops. It was brutal. So do you think you might come to Phoenix this year? Come to Arizona instead of Florida?
I have been dying to get to Arizona, and one of us has club covers that are desert themed.
I do.
Yeah.
May
You
have
gotta
to
break
land
those
ourselves in Arizona.
Yeah, you got fully baptized those head covers here in the desert. I would love it if you two would come to Desert Classic. I feel like you guys would have an absolute blast. So we might have to talk off the episode about it, but I think you guys would have an absolute blast. And I know we were talking earlier, I was looking through all your gear because you guys are doing your own swag, your own gear. Right, Nicole?
Yeah, so we have my Fairway Ladies online, and that's all of our golf related stuff. And then we also have Mod Mirth, which is like just goofy stuff that more people can relate to besides just golf. So we kind of attacked it from two different angles just to include everybody. We don't want anybody to be left out.
How do you say it? Mod
Mirth.
Mod Mirth.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean?
So mirth means it's like a jovial like expression, like happiness. So I kind of want to do like a play like on modern happiness. So Mod Mirth game.
I love that. So I was looking on that website too, and you have some sweatshirts there that I added to cart. So you'll see an order come through probably first thing tomorrow morning from both websites.
Awesome.
They're amazing things. So make sure you check that out. All the information there is from the show notes. But Nicole and I had a long conversation today about the Cartner like tote bags. And they're so funny. And I was looking at them. I'm like, I want these bags to hold all our tournament swag. Like instead of just a paper bag that we usually use that's like tournament logoed, branded. I'd rather use this tote bag and everyone gets the tote bag and all their swag is inside of it. So I was talking to Nicole here and trying to get these out to Napa because we're recording this about 10 days before our Napa tournament started. And usually my thing is that within 2 weeks of when one of our big events starts, like the budget goes out the window. It is full spend mode. It is panic. Like I need everyone to like the event like me. I'm going to buy their satisfaction. And I go, just berserk. I was like, okay, let's get these bags and that's what we're going to use. But so we're figuring that out. We might do it for Cali Crush. If not, we're definitely doing it for Desert Classic. I feel like you guys would have an absolute blast there. I think it's your cup of tea. Everyone comes there to have a good time and also get away from the cold because the event is 4 days long and we spend 4 days on the golf course and it's amazing. So I'll be in touch with you guys about that. So what else? Tell me some other thing that are going on for you that the listener needs to know. How can they engage with you? What are some maybe future things that you guys are working on?
So we don't really have anything planned. A lot of people keep asking us to raffle off a round with them or like with us. And I don't really know how to do that. So I was like, oh. And it sucks because we do want to just golf with everybody because we know if we had this big event, we would have so much fun just goofing off and having, getting into shenanigans. But we're just going to continue to do what we've been doing the past 2 years. And I think there's just so much going on right now and tension is high, stress levels are high. It's just nice to put out good, clean, fun content that is unbiased and all of these things. It's free from anything serious. So I think we're just going to continue to do that for a while and see where it goes and just have fun with it.
We'll end with this then. What has golf brought to your life as adults? For me personally, it's brought a community to where I can meet friends as an adult, have a good time, spend time outside, get exercise. But it's mostly just open these doors to these amazing women that I get to share my life with and hang out with. So what has golf brought to your life since you started playing?
So since I've started playing, I've noticed a difference with myself, and I spend a lot of time in my head. I'm an only child now, so I spend a lot of time thinking and overthinking. And when I'm on the golf course, there's just something that happens with my brain. Everything else, aside from focusing on a little white ball in the grass, just dissipates. And that's the only thing I focus on. So it's definitely brought me back down from being such an anxious, constant going person to just slow down and create new friendships. I've met Amber. I met a ton of people that I still talk to, creating the community that we have on our social pages. It's just really nice to get those messages that it's like, oh, you don't know how much you saved my life and while I was in the hospital just being miserable, or you really pushed me to get back into golf after a hiatus. And it's just nice to have all of those things coming at you in such a positive way. And I wouldn't change that or anything.
That's amazing.
I feel like it's like a very nice stress reliever. It's something to get away from work and always being busy and going somewhere and doing something. It's always like Thursday night league is just like something you look forward to be able to disconnect and hang out, relax, have fun. A good community of all the women in the women's league, everyone that we've met through my Fairway Ladies. It's just nice to get away from everything and be able to go and golf, whether it's golfing with Nicole, golfing with myself. My mom golfs, so sometimes I get to golf with her. So it's quality time with other people and spending time with other people. So,
like I said earlier, the connection you two have is something really special. And I know you guys are aware of that, but I think just like you hope to do, I do believe it is bringing a ton of women into the game of golf. And maybe they're coming together, or maybe they're finding their own Amber or own Nicole when they get into ladies leagues or newcomer leagues or 9-hole leagues, whatever they venture into. But I think it's really important to just continue the content of women's golf out there and really what it looks like the reality of what it looks like and how amazing it is and how much better it could even be when you have the golf bestie at your side. So I commend you both. Thank you again for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
again,
having us.
Oh, my pleasure. And to get in touch with Nicole and Amber at My Fairway Ladies, all their social media handles are in the show notes. And then to go look at the fabulous gear. It's, you see people put up their own gear all the time, and it's just kind of like a couple pieces here or there. Like, you have a very substantial, both of the websites are very substantial, and they're really cool stuff, like stuff that you don't see out there a lot. So especially with the golf side, I appreciate that. Well, thank you, ladies. And until next time.
Thank you, Tori.